And what you do see him doing is spending time with other people. It's going to be hard for you to say, well, yeah, oh man, woo-hoo, they really love me. No. You're going to say, no, I'm competing for your love. But you have said, I'm number one. But your actions don't show that. Are you with me? So, covetousness can lead me, notice it's idolatry. So, the covetousness may be, we're going to get to money in a second, but it just may be because I'm still trying to please some human. And my heart is focused on doing whatever it takes to please that human. But if that human's not in Christ, then trying to please that person is going to lead me down the wrong road.
Right.
And then even if they are in Christ, if I'm focused on the person, I won't see when they stop being in Christ. And that's what we see in a lot of churches. Have these great pastors that used to be great men of God, well, they left God a while ago. But the people haven't seen it. They still think he's a great man of God. Because they can no longer see that. All right? So, covetousness, which is as idolatry. Whether it be a person, you're seeking to fill a need in you, whether it be yourself or the world. It's all taking you away from God. And it means you don't hate all those other people or systems or things or thoughts or so forth. That's why we have these strong language. Here, Paul says it in 2 Corinthians 10, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God. And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. We just read in Colossians, mortify your members. We're talking strong, harsh language that's meant to be strong, harsh language. Because it says, make a decision and do what you have to do to fulfill that decision. But don't talk it, do it. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. Faith without works is dead. So when you think about it, if a Christian is going towards covetousness, they're going right back to where they came from. They're going back. I guess it's not defecting. What's the opposite of defecting? Whatever that's called. They're going back to Satan's camp. Okay? We'll call it backsliding, right? They're going back to Satan's camp. Because they came to the Lord looking for something. In their opinion, they didn't find it. So why go through all that hassle being a Christian? Let me just go back to what was comfortable. Let me go back to what I knew. And that's what we see happening. But the beauty is, if this is a spirit of covetousness, I don't have that. That's not a thought process. I just do it. But I think I'm still worshiping the Lord. So I want you to understand, this is not a conscious thought process going on. This happens because that spirit's driving the person. Right? And probably the best thing to do is give you an example of that. And we have a great example in the New Testament, our buddy Judas. Let's look at John 12. John 12. Starting at verse 1 through 6. Then Jesus, 6 days before the Passover, came to Bethany, where Lazarus was, which had been dead, whom he had raised from the dead. There they made him a supper, and Martha served, but Lazarus was one of them that sat at the table with him. Then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. Then said one of his disciples, Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, which would betray him? Why was not this ointment sold for 300 pence and given to the poor? This he said, not that he cared for the poor, but because he was a thief, and had the bag, and bare what was put therein. Then said Jesus, let her alone. Against the day of my bearing has she kept this. But the poor always you have with you, but me you have not always. Now, we understand Judas's motive. He wants the money. He sees this rare ointment being thrown away. So he has to come up with something religious, something spiritual to say. Well, this could have been sold to give to the poor. But the truth of what he's saying is this could have been sold so I could make some money. He said, wow, I didn't know she had this. This was a chance I could have made some good money. I've been with this guy, Jesus, for so long, I'm still trying to make me some money. And now he just threw it away. He just threw it away. Right? See, and he's telling him, look what it says, verse 8. The poor always you have with you, but me you have not always. The prophecy said, worship Jesus, King of kings, Lord of lords. And the question, if he is King of kings, Lord of lords, what can we possibly do? What can we possibly give that compares to what he's already given us? The answer is nothing. And Mary understood this. This is nothing. This is nothing. But Judas's eyes weren't on Christ. Judas's eyes was on the money. Courtney?
So was he doing all these things that the other disciples did when they went out, laying hands on people?